All right, we're partway into the recording here. We already know the x-intercepts are here and here. We know the y-intercepts right there because this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. This dotted line down the middle, that's called the axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry. Okay, so it runs right down the middle. Kind of like on a human being, right between your eyes, right down your nose. Okay, so anyway, the vertex is this spot at the bottom here where it makes the turn. That's the terminology. That's the main thing, one of the main things for today. Like almost the only thing you'd have to know for today. So let me show you specifically how we would say each of these things. The x-intercepts on this are where it hits the x-axis, but how do I say that spot? The x-intercept always has y equal to 0. There's a ton of things you're learning right this second. If y is equal to 0, then do you get that's the spot where you put the y? And so how would I say these two x-intercepts? 1 and 3. 1, 0, 3, 0. I'm going to say something, you finish it. The x-intercept is where, what? Y is 0. The x-intercept is where y is 0. See how I got a y is 0 right here and right there? The x-intercept is where y is 0. And then I bet somebody smart will be able to do the opposite of that. The y-intercept is where... I'm going to say that again. The y-intercept is where... What is what? Okay, I'm going to repeat. The x-intercept was where y was 0. So the y-intercept would be where x equals 0. Exactly. It's like the converse of it. So 0, comma, and then here it is, 6. So you have to write 0, comma 6. You can't just say 6. You got to say 0, comma 6. So I'm going to say that one more time. The x-intercept is where what? Where y is 0. Good. And the y-intercept is where x is 0. Okay. Now this vertex here. How would I say that vertex point? Everybody look at mine. You don't want to look at yours because you drew them different than mine. What's that spot? What comma what? You go over first. Okay. Okay, over 2 and then what? And down 2. So how do I say that spot? If it's, oh wait a minute. I missed, I went too far. Over 2 and then down 2. How do I say that? What comma what? 2 comma negative 2, exactly. All right, so that's the vertex. And the axis of symmetry is this dotted line that runs right down the middle. I know you all could draw it, that's easy. But how do you write the equation for it? Well, it's really simple. Axes of symmetry always have an x in them. See how axis has the letter x in it? It's always x equals, and then a number. X equals, in this case, look, here's where x is. X equals 2. All right, it's not working. So here we go back again. Axis of symmetry is always going to have an x. X-axis. Can you remember that x goes with axis?
Yep.
I'm up here. Look up this way. Thank you. X goes with axis. So x equals, not y equals. It's always x equals. And then it's just what number it's going through. And since it was going through the 2, then x equals 2. All right, that is most of what we have to learn for today. I'm going to clear off the ink here. I'm going to pause while I do that. All right, so the rest of it is where they tell you what the numbers are, and then you have to make the graph. It's kind of like connect the dot. Do you remember connect the dots back when you were a little kid?
Yeah, that was a good game. That's my favorite game.
All right. So if I made this spot, this spot, this spot, and you were supposed to connect the dots, and you knew this was the lowest one, do you get it's going to be like a U shape that would go through all the dots like that? See what I'm saying? That's kind of what we're going to do. So we just got to know where the dots are. And it tells us where the dots are. Axis of symmetry is that dotted line that runs down the middle, and it's at x is negative 2. Hint, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2. Oh, there's negative 2. There will not. You'll have to count. Should be able to handle that. I know, but it actually is difficult to read them when they're that small. All right. The x-intercepts are those spots where y equals 0. Notice the y's are 0 on the x-intercepts. I'm trying to teach you a really powerful pattern. Honestly, that's something I use in my high-level math classes. If you can remember the x-intercepts are where y is 0, you're really out of the game. Okay, so now the x-intercepts are at -5. Well, here's -5, 3, 4, 5. I counted out. There it is. And here's +1 right there. I'm starting to have my dots that I can connect at the end. Vertex, -2, -9. Here's -2, goes over this way, and then down 9 is right there. Whoo, connect the dots. I can do that. Oh, one more thing. The y-intercept is 0, -5. Cool, that'll help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to go through all these dots. Can you see, since that's the lowest one, how I should go down and then back up through the dots, connect the dots? There it is. Okay, so moral of the story. You have been learning about, what's this thing? I said it started with a P. What is it called again? Parabola. And the lowest spot on them, or if you flip it over, the highest spot is very special because it's the spot where it makes the turn, and that's called the, say it louder.
Apex.
Close. Vertex. In the context of a ball being thrown in the air, that is called the apex. But for a parabola, it's always called the vertex.
Vertex is like a tornado.
No, that's a vortex. You're thinking of a vortex. Okay. And then other things, the axis of symmetry was this dotted line that runs down the middle. It's a symmetry line. All right. So this is the part where I'm going to hand out your worksheet, and we are going to work on that together. And that's all I have for the video for today.